Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing an unhaul. I know, crazy, wild, who am I? I did one unhaul a few months ago and it felt really good. I was really impressed with what I did and what I got rid of, and I was like, I was feeling good. I was feeling accomplished. And then I was looking at the ever-growing piles on they weren't on my floor yet, but they were about to be on my floor, and I was getting worried because I was like, oh no, I'm about to have a lot of books on my floor again when I just got rid of that problem. So I was like, you know what? It's time for an unhaul. So I was trying to be strict with myself. I was trying to actually get rid of books and make sure that I was actually clearing some room and some space. And I have 22 books. I think I just counted correctly, but I think I have 22 books that I am officially saying goodbye to and unhauling, and I think that's actually a lot. I know it probably doesn't seem like a lot to some people, but to me that's like a lot of books to get rid of and like be so concrete about. I just usually hang on to books even though I didn't necessarily love them. So I'm trying to be better about it. I'm gonna try to do more unhauls like more frequently so that way I can keep myself accountable, since I am buying books so frequently. I think maybe once a month or once every 2 months I might try to do this. So hopefully you all enjoy unhauls and you find them entertaining, because you might be seeing more of them on my channel. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you what books I'm getting rid of, why I'm getting rid of it, that kind of thing. Hopefully this is not too long of a video. I don't want to spend too long on each book and like why I'm unhauling it, but yeah, let's get started. So first up is this Tiny Nightmares Very Short Tales of Horror. It's like a short story, like flash fiction collection, and I've had it for a while and just never really picked it up. And I did go through some of the stories and try to read them, and I just don't think they're really like my vibe. I really enjoy short story collections when they're done really well, but I think these stories are just a little too short. I mean, they're like 2 to 3 pages, and that's like not enough build up for me in a story. So I personally just know I won't reach for this or read it anytime soon. So I'm just gonna unhaul it and get rid of it and, you know, make space for new other books and stuff like that. Next up is Fairest Flesh by K.P. Kolsky. I've again had this for so long just sitting on my shelves and I never reach for it. I just don't think it's going to be something that I enjoy. I think it's like a retelling of sorts. I'm not really sure actually what it's about. And I just had it for way too long, and since I haven't reached for it before this, I don't think I'm going to reach for it anytime soon. So I'm just going to let it go. Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. This is like a Christmas romance story. I read it last year for Christmas and I enjoyed it enough. Like, I thought it was fun, I thought it was okay, but it's not like my favorite romance I've ever read. And now that I've been reading more romance books, I feel like I have a better understanding of what I enjoy and like what I don't enjoy. So I think this is just not a favorite for me. So I'm gonna just, I'm just gonna send it on its way. I liked it, I didn't love it. So I think I like other romance books more that I would like to make room for, and I think I have so many other romance books that I'm about to read that I'm gonna love, so I just don't feel like there's a need to keep this one. Another romance, Layla by Colleen Hoover. I thought this was a weird book. It's like a paranormal love story. I understand what Colleen Hoover was trying to do. I don't think it necessarily worked with this book. I think I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. It was a little, the main guy is he's problematic. It was kind of iffy while I was reading it. So I just don't think I'll reread it. I don't think it's a new favorite. I didn't like it enough to want to keep it, so I'm just gonna, say goodbye. Small Horrors by Darcy Coates. And before you come for me thinking that I'm unhauling a Darcy because like I don't want it or I don't like it, that is incorrect. So this is the mass market paperback version of this collection, and it's short, it's fat, and it doesn't fit in with the rest of the Darcys that I own, and it bothers me and I don't like it. So I actually bought the other regular sized version of this short story collection, and so now I just don't need this because it doesn't fit my collection, and I have two now. So I'm just gonna get rid of this one because I don't really like the size and I don't like that it messes up the look of my Darcy collection. So don't worry, I'm not getting rid of it because I didn't like it or anything like that. I haven't even read this short story collection yet, but I'm only getting rid of it because I have the other version and I like that one much better. So next up is Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. I just read this last month. I gave it 2.5 stars. It's a sci-fi horror. It's not for me. It's not my vibe. I didn't really like it. I thought it was boring. I didn't care about anything that was happening in this book. So I'm actually unhauling it and going to give it to my partner because he wants to check it out. He seems interested in it and I think he'll like it way more than I will. So yeah, I'm unhauling it and giving it to him. So speaking of giving books to my partner, I'm also going to give him Dead Space by Callie Wallace, I think. I've had this. It's another sci-fi horror book. Don't know too much about it. I don't think I'm gonna end up liking it. If I didn't like Dead Silence, I don't think I'm gonna end up liking this one. So I'm just gonna take it off my TBR, take it off my shelves, and give it to him and see if he likes it. So The Dating Dare by J.C. Lee. I just read this last month. I thought it was fun. I liked it, but again, I didn't really love it and I didn't really connect to the characters or to the story that much. So I'm unhauling it because I have a lot of romance on my TBR, a lot of romance that I haven't read yet that I think will be higher rated than this. So I'm just gonna make room by unhauling this one since I didn't love it a lot. Next up is The Haunting of Las Lagrimas by W.M. Calise. I read this last month. I thought it was fine. 3 stars, average. I don't think it's better than Mexican Gothic or The Hacienda. So I'm getting rid of it because I don't think I'll reread it. I don't think I'm gonna change my opinion anytime soon on it. So yeah, it's just an average read. I don't think I need it in my possession. I don't think I need to keep it. So I'm going to get rid of it. If you watched my wrap up, you will not be surprised to see this book in this unhaul, and that is Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin. I actually love this book. I really, really enjoyed Rosemary's Baby. However, I hate this edition. I hate this cover. I think it is the ugliest thing. I don't want it. I don't want it in my collection. I hate it. It's ugly. I've already bought another edition of this book because I don't want this one. So I'm unhauling it because I don't need this. I don't want to look at it. I don't like it. I don't want it. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for my new, more attractive, more appealing cover of Rosemary's Baby, and I'm just gonna get rid of this one. The Wasp Factory by Ian Banks. This is like a more extreme horror book. I read this a few months ago. I thought it was fine. I think I gave it 3 stars. I don't think it's anything like amazing or wild or crazy or like super magnificent enough to keep. I just thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. You know, it wasn't the worst book I've ever read, but it wasn't anything spectacular. So for that reason, I don't think I'll reread it. I don't think I'm gonna, you know, reach for it again anytime soon. So yeah, I'm gonna just unhaul it. False Witness by Karen Slaughter. So I didn't like this because of the COVID references. They talked about COVID like all the freaking time and it felt very irrelevant to the plot. I also just thought this was like a less good version of Pretty Girls, so I'm just gonna unhaul this. I'm actually gonna give this to my mom because my mom loves Karen Slaughter and she said she would be interested in reading it, so I'm gonna give it to her and hopefully she enjoys it more than I did. Next up, The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. I did not like this. I DNF'd it. I don't want to keep this book. I don't want to try reading it again. Don't feel a need to keep it. Don't want it. Just, you know, I have a lot of feelings about this book. I personally, it's not for me. It's not my kind of book. It's not what I want to read. It's not anything that I really want in my space of books. I just don't want to keep it. So yeah, I'm gonna unhaul it because I don't feel a need to have it. The next book I'm unhauling is Cold Moon Over Babylon by Michael McDowell. This was too slow for me. It's a Southern Gothic horror novel. I didn't really connect to the story, didn't really vibe with it. I thought it was boring, predictable, and just not really my kind of horror. So I don't feel the need to keep this in my collection. I have another Michael McDowell on my TBR that I really do want to try and read. I want to give Michael McDowell another chance since I didn't really like this one. But yeah, I don't really want to keep it since I didn't feel like it was anything, you know, special. The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I didn't really like this one. I think I gave it 3 stars. To be honest, it was more of like a 2-star. It was more of like a 2-star book, but it was fast and I didn't take too long to read it, so I gave it like a 3, I think. Yeah, this just wasn't my kind of thing. I guess the twist really early on, and I don't really think it's anything that amazing, so I don't really feel the need to keep this in my collection, and I'm just gonna give it a new home. The Perfectly Fine House by Stephen Kozeniewski and Wiley E. Young. I DNF'd this. I wasn't vibing with the writing or like the comedic approach to this story. I didn't feel like continuing, and I felt like the book wasn't going to go in the direction that I would have wanted or that I usually typically enjoy in this kind of scenario. So I DNF'd, and I don't feel like I'm going to pick it up again. So Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. So to me, this wasn't as good as Red, White, and Royal Blue. I didn't really like the main character. I thought he was super annoying. I liked his love interest. I liked him a lot more than I liked the main character. I found him to be super immature and just like childish, and I didn't really get on with his character. So the book was a little bit difficult for me to read when I didn't like him. And again, I just liked Red, White, and Royal Blue way more than this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna unhaul it and make room for other romance books. This one pains me so much because I want to keep it solely for the cover, but I know that's not really smart, so I'm trying to be good and I'm gonna get rid of it. And that is The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. The first half of this book was so good, and the second half was just not what I wanted it to be, and it took the book in a direction that I wasn't really wanting. So I gave it 2.5 stars in the end, so I'm really sad. I don't want to get rid of it because this cover is absolutely beautiful and I love it and I want to keep it so badly, but I'm gonna unhaul it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna be strong and putting my foot down, and I'm getting rid of it. Zombie by Joyce Carol Oates. If you watched my wrap-up, I did not like this book. I gave it 2 stars. I thought it was super boring and just not really worth my time. In the end, when I finished it, I was like, that felt like I wasted time reading it, and I hate feeling like that, and I don't like feeling like that after I read a book, especially when a book is only like 180 pages. So I just know that I don't want this in my collection. I don't want to reread this. I don't want to keep it. I don't want this book in. No, I don't need it. I don't need it here. Murder House by C.V. Hunt. This book I haven't read in a really long time. I read it a few years ago, and I only really remember it being one of those books that plays with that whole, is the main character experiencing something paranormal, or is it in their head and are they crazy? And that trope is one of my least favorite tropes. it's usually not done in a way that I enjoy, so I typically don't ever enjoy them. So yeah, I can't even remember that much about the book. I'm just gonna unhaul it. Speaking of books that I don't remember anything about, The Perfect Stranger by Megan Miranda. I read this, I think, before I even started my channel. I'm pretty sure I read this before I started my channel. I remember absolutely nothing about this book. I can't even tell you what the plot is. I have no recollection of it. I have no recollection of if I even liked it or if I hated it. I have no idea. But I don't think I'm gonna read it again. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. I think it's just a regular thriller. Like, if I remember, if I do remember anything, I think I just thought that it was like an average thriller, like nothing spectacular or anything like that, which I have heard that Megan Miranda's thrillers are a little bit just kind of average. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna unhaul it. I literally don't even have any feelings, positive or negative, about this book. The Chalkman by CJ Tudor. I remember liking this. Actually, I think I liked it a lot. A lot of people, I think, didn't like it because it's very similar to It by Stephen King, and I think that's why I did like it, is because it's like It but shorter. I don't really remember too much about it. I remember the very vague general plot, and I do remember liking it, but honestly I've read so many books since then that I remember more and that stick out more as a favorite and that I really enjoy. So I don't really feel like the need to keep this one. I don't know. I don't feel pulled to keep it. There's nothing there in my mind being like, don't get rid of it, you're gonna regret it, don't do that. So I'm just gonna, you know. The last book in this unhaul is The Daughter by Jane Shemilt. I still don't know how to say that name. This was one of the first books I read at the very start of my channel, and I actually do remember this book. It's about a family whose daughter ends up going missing and they, you know, can't find her. I remember the ending, and I remember I don't like this ending. It frustrated me, and it ended up going in a way that I didn't really care for. I don't know, I had my own theories and ideas about this book, and when the twist was revealed, I would have preferred my own, like, ideas that I had about it rather than what it was. So I just remember feeling like, yeah, it was good, but, you know, not like the best book I've ever read. So yeah, I've had it for years and never reread it or felt the need to reread it. So I'm gonna just gonna get rid of it. There you have it, my friends. Those are the books that I am unhauling. Those are the books leaving my shelves, leaving my collection, and hopefully letting me make room for the books that I have purchased and am excited to read and actually do really enjoy. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a good amount. I feel like I got rid of a good amount. I feel proud. Yeah, I feel good about it. There's definitely some books that I decided not to unhaul, and I'm giving myself a little bit more time to see if I'm going to pick them up or, you know, whatever, if my feelings change. So do expect another unhaul relatively soon, because there are some books that I definitely think I can get rid of still. And also, once I read books for the month of August, if I don't enjoy them and I want to unhaul them, obviously that'll be easy too. So definitely expect more unhauls in the future. I feel like this is good and it feels good, and I need to get rid of books every now and again. So hopefully you enjoyed this little big, I felt like it was a big unhaul, but maybe it is a little unhaul. I'm not sure. If you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoy unhauls, and that way I can keep doing them in the future. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books we don't like, talk about books we do like, spooky books, scary books, horrific books, thrillers, romance, manga, all kinds of stuff. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!